Welcome back to Alyssa's Movie Takes. Today I'm going to be looking at the movie The Power of the Dog, which is slated most likely going to win Best Picture tonight at the Oscars. The Oscars has turned into an interesting award show because they play it so late in the year. It's end of March, and yet all the other awards have already happened. So we kind of know who's getting the buzz around Best Actress, Best Actor, Best Picture, and in this case it's The Power of the Dog. I really don't understand why it's expected to win. It doesn't seem like that great of a script to me. And also, I'm going to denounce it because the way that they play it here, to me, felt like it's validating pedophilia. And I'll get into that in just a second. So because I really disliked the philosophy of this movie, I am going to include spoilers. I mean, that sometimes I will include spoilers regardless, but this movie's been out for a while. I don't think you're going to see it unless it wins Best Picture and you're just going to check it out because it does win, but I would just stay away from it because the way that they show the infatuation between a 40-something-year-old man and a teenage boy in this movie is just disgusting. And it's disgusting because they play it as if it's a rom-com, right? They're setting you up to almost root for these two characters to get together. And by that I mean sleep together at some point, because every time they have a scene together, they're playing up at first that Phil, the older man, goes after Peter for how he is. He's a little more effeminate, but then quickly it pivots toward we can tell that both of them have a crush on each other. But I'm going to repeat, Peter is a 14 or 15-year-old boy, and Phil is a 40-something-year-old man. In any way, shape, or form, this is something that should not be touched. And it definitely should not be touched in a way that is having you root for these two to get together. Kirsten Dunst's character, and I'm sorry when I'm saying Dunst in plural, it's a little hard to say. Kirsten Dunst's character, Rose, is Peter's mother, and she sees what's happening with Phil. He's torturing her as the new wife of his brother George, but she also sees that Phil is going after, as a predator, her son, and she's powerless to do anything against her. And that is part of the big reason that she feels so tortured, is she can see the infatuation between these two and she can't do anything about it. But the movie doesn't really give us her perspective as this is the right one. It more points to, don't you feel the warmth and the romance developing between these two characters? And the spoiler is that Peter does end up killing Phil to protect his mother, but the scene where he's killing Phil, you don't even know if he's gonna sleep with this character as he kills him, because the way he kills him is to poison him with anthrax from a diseased cow. So it's like Phil has a few hours or days to live afterward, and especially in that moment he's not sick. And they do low lighting, the camera shots are made to emphasize the fact that these two are infatuated with each other. That should disgust us, but this movie plays it in such a way where they want to make you feel encouraged, where they want to make you feel those warm and fuzzies as you get when you're watching a rom-com. And you can't just glaze over it because it's awful. There are two ways you can play a movie about childhood abuse. One is to denounce it, and the other one is to play into it. And unfortunately, even though Peter takes this stand to protect his mother, at no point do they have any scenes between Phil and Peter that are anything less than two people falling in love. And that leaves you with the feeling that this is okay, and it's not. Let me repeat. This kind of relationship is not okay. Is it common? Is this how it probably looks like a lot of times, where it looks like infatuation more than just a total straight up control? Yes, absolutely. But that makes the abuse all the more difficult because it becomes a mind game for the person abused, Peter in this situation, years down the road. Even though Hollywood is going to honor it, just don't see it. So that's my take on The Power of the Dog. Do you plan to watch the Oscars tonight? And do you find this kind of trend troubling to endorse what looks like abuse or pedophilia in Hollywood? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks so much. I'll talk to you soon.